Hey, Doctor here. I'm going to show you a few things that you can do to your grill to make sure that you have a safe grilling season. Every year, first of the year, everybody, opens these things up and think that they're ready to go. But there's a few things that you really need to check, and we're going to go over a few of those steps.
Well, first of all, upon opening this grill, you can tell it's been used a whole lot last season. And unfortunately, in our drunken expressiveness, we probably left it dirty. So anyway, we're going to take the grill off. You might want to get some gloves because this is usually very, very greasy. Anyhow, this is the burning element. See how it's got, food from last season on it and all this stuff. Well, we're going to clean all this stuff up because along these edges are little teeny tiny holes, and those are where your flame come from, and you really kind of want those unclogged. So the first thing we're going to do is clean those. Typically what I use is a wire brush. That's all it takes. Make sure you get the edges. If you find when you open yours up that it's gotten all rusted out and all that kind of stuff, you might want to replace this element. That happens from time to time, but they're not very expensive and they're very easy to replace. If you've ever had your grill on and then suddenly these knobs caught on fire, I'm going to show you why and how to fix it. Alright, well anyway, take like a gardener's shovel and just scrape the stuff up. Like I said, every year you're going to have to do this. Mine, it just pops right up. Now your hoses may not be as long, so be careful doing that. Everybody's is different, but those have got to remain attached. And if you pop that, make sure you go down to the bottom and make sure they didn't flop out. We're going to get to that in another part of the video, but you want to scrape all this stuff out. That's just crap. Well, as you can see, I got rid of all the grit that was inside of there. Now we're going to move on to the next step, because remember I moved that burner element up, and I could have maybe pulled those hoses out. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that those are still attached to the adjusters there. And just as I suspected, the hoses got ripped right out of the line. See right there, the hoses? Okay, we're going to reattach these. Now while you're at it, inspect the inside of these tubes for spider webs. Okay, if you got spider webs in there, that's how those knobs catch on fire. Okay, webs are just strong enough to block gas that's going to go up into the burner. And that's what happens. It goes straight to the knobs here because, just like water, it's going to go for the easiest access. But always check these hoses and make sure they don't have webs in them. It'll save you a lot of grief. Now these little hoses go on with a little cotter pin. Okay, you got to pull this thing out. I don't know if you can see it right or not. I can do this video at the same time. Anyway, Stick that hose on that fitting. You'll see it, big long fitting right there. Then you slip the cotter pin right up in there. I can't do it and film at the same time, so sorry. Okay, now once you've reattached them, the cotter pins, okay, make sure that there's no resistance and there's no kinks in those lines, and you should be set. One thing you also want to check is your grease trap. Those are usually right in the center underneath the grill. At least it is on mine. Anyway, I've already emptied mine, but mine's just a little tin can that's under here by a hook. You just take the hook out and you empty that cup. Because believe me, if you do a lot of grilling like I do, it's going to get full again. One final step. We're going to take a wire brush and we're going to clean off the top grill. I found it's a lot easier if you just lean it up against the fence and it makes it real fast. And there's the finished product. As you can see, it's all nice and clean now. We got all the gristle off the grill, cleaned off the burner, make sure that our aluminum hoses were attached properly. Now we're ready for a safe summer of grilling. Exactly. Now if you don't have one of these, you really need to get one. And I'm about to show you why. This is the James Bond suitcase for barbecue and grilling. For as you can see, it has everything inside of it that you would ever want. Let's take a closer look here. We got a spatula, tongs, forks, and that's a baster brush, and a large knife. We're cutting steak and stuff. We got the grill cleaner that we used earlier. We got skewers. We got a thermometer, and we have a light for nighttime grill outs. So this kit is pretty cool. So if you have a chance to get one, get it. You'll love yourself for it. Meanwhile, back at the grill, as you can see, we've already cleaned it. And we got a good flame going on. We're going to close this lid, let the heat build up inside. And we're going to do some hamburger patties. And we're going to get right on back to the grilling. Now when I'm grilling, I like to use onion powder, garlic powder, and real salt. Big difference with them burgers, man. Little salt, little garlic, little onion powder. This is a cat waiting on barbecue. He doesn't want to admit it, because he's got his head down in shame. But he only wants barbecue.